Hey, okay guys, welcome back to No Man's Sky. Bodie here. If you were just on my last live stream that ended a few minutes ago, I was a bit disorganized and I had the wrong mbin compiler file and all that stuff. Um, okay, so now I'm good to go. We are good to go with the modding tutorial video. I found the right download, and we are all set now. So without any further ado, let's get started. I will share my screen so you guys can see everything that I can see. And we're going to go, and these are mods that I created on Nexus Mods. And a lot of people might be really nervous and scared about creating mods. They're not sure how to do it, or if it's going to be too complicated, or so I'm here to put you at ease and help you understand how it works and how easy it is to create a mod. Okay, so if you just want to edit files on your computer without creating mods or anything like that, you can download Java and Goat Fungus's No Man's Sky save editor. So once you download and install Java, you will be able to use save editor because it uses Java to run save editor. So you download that, you click on code, go to download zip, and you download that after downloading your version of Java from this page. Links are in the description below, by the way. So you download that and you download this zip file, and then you can put the save editor after you've downloaded it. You can extract it, extract to, and I'm just going to put it in a folder on my desktop, and I'm going to call it modding, new folder, NMS modding. Alright, and select. So the files from the save editor will go into modding. Next. We're going to download Notepad++ because if you want to create mods, you'll need Notepad++. So download the latest version and then pick the one that's best for your system. I always go with the installers, whichever one you pick, like the 32-bit, the 64-bit. I always go with 64-bit and I click the installer. So that way there you can just install it right away and be done. Or you can download the zip and just have the installer permanently on your computer. Yeah, so I always just go with the installer. It's easier. You get that from this address right here. And then we're going to download the PS Arc tool. You go to code, download zip, and once you've downloaded that, the PS Arc tool, you're just going to unzip that and you'll extract that to your same folder that you put on your desktop or wherever you put it. I just put it on my desktop for convenience. And No Man's Sky modding, there it is, select folder, and OK. Alright, now we're going to go to mbin compiler because you need mbin compiler in order to create mods. So we will do that. We will get that, and let's see. Did it download? Let me delete this one real quick. Alright, mbin compiler. Where, alright, I'm trying to remember. So we'll save that file, the mbin compiler exe, right? And we will open that and copy that into our modding folder. And then we will go back into the page and we'll get the lib save. I thought there was a way you could just download them all, I thought, but apparently you gotta do them individually. Copy and paste into the modding folder. And then we'll go to the report JSON, save, open folder, copy, paste into the modding folder. And then we'll go with, oops, sorry, that shouldn't even be open yet. Okay, and then we'll go to source code zip. We'll just put that. Wait, where is it? How come I don't see it? Oh, that's why. Okay. And we'll extract that. Into our desktop No Man's Sky modding folder. Click OK. And then we don't need the tar.gz because we're not actually on Linux. So we just use the zip. Alright, and that's it. That's all we need. Oh, and we need the modding station. That's important, right? So just do a quick search here, modding station. And, oh, but that's not the link that I gave you. I gave you guys a different link. Either way, it doesn't matter where you download it from. It's all the same modding station. So we'll just download it from here, and we have the compiler. Oh, and you need net 452, by the way. So net 452, you can get that here at this website. It'll also tell you when you go to download the file. So you click download. I already have net framework, so we're gonna go slow download because it's quick anyway. And we're going to modding station open, and we're going to extract into our desktop modding folder, select. Alright, so okay, so we have our stuff here that we just downloaded, and we put it all in the same folder just for convenience. The save editor, right? We got that. We installed Java, so once you install Java, you can open up the save editor master folder, and you can click on the jar file, and that opens up your save editor. You tell it where your save files live, and you have access to your save files here. You select one of them, and you can edit all kinds of things like your currencies and your shield and health and your multi-tool inventory and all that stuff. You can make it S class or whatever class you want. You can change the seed if you know a seed. Ships, same deal, seeds, inventory, change the name, change the type. But if you're changing from like a living to a different type, like a living ship to a different type, you'll have to redo all of your technology because living ships take different technologies. Your freighter, you can change your seed just like before, the inventories, all that stuff. Frigates. If you don't have 30 frigates, right, you can like easily just, I'm just going to delete a couple to show you. There. Oh. Alright, so now I only have 27 out of 30. So I'm just going to take one that I like, and I'm just going to click copy, 28, 29, 30. Now I have 30, and I can't copy anymore because 30 is the max. You can go to vehicles, you can change your inventories there. You can like add stuff, like you can add anything you want. You can by search, or you can just say, oh well, I want a certain product, like I want a curiosity void egg, for example. So you go to where the void egg is, save, and now you got a whole stack of void eggs. My stacks are bigger than most people's because I have mods running that increases my stack limits. But yeah, you can just add void eggs. You can add as many as you want. You know, you can add different types of items like consumable, and you can do this like aloe flesh or whatever you want. And you can do this for all your inventories. If you have something in your inventory you don't want, you can just delete it. Right click, delete, you know. Bases and storage, same deal. Discovery. So for this, what you would want to do if you want to just learn all your technologies, for example, you click on add technology, click on any one over here, hold down control and press A, and that selects all. Control and V, I mean not control and V, just click add after that. Control and A and then add. Same deal here, click add product, select one, control A, and then click add. You can learn or unlearn all your glyphs with a click. You can learn the words by clicking them all individually, or you can just unlearn them all or learn them all with a simple one-click button down here. I like what he did there. That was awesome. By the way, that's Goat Fungus's creation, the save editor. This does not create mods, however, but it will modify your game. So you are modding your game, but you're not doing it by creating mods. If you want to create mods, then you have to go to where your PC Banks folder lives. So for me, it's my C drive, program files, x86, Steam, Steam apps, common, No Man's Sky, game data, oops, game data, and then you'll see that there's a mods folder in your game data folder, but that's not the mods folder I'm talking about. You want to go into your PC Banks folder, and there won't be a mods folder there if you didn't already put one there. So you'll need to create a new folder and name it mods, all caps. And then there'll be a text file here that says disable mods.txt right next to the bin file. I deleted mine, so you can delete it or you can change it to enable mods.txt. Once you deleted disable mods.txt or renamed it to enable mods.txt and created your mods folder, now you're ready to start creating mods. So you're going to go to your NMS modding folder that you created before you started downloading everything, and you'll see there's a NMS modding station.exe file, right? So we're going to go and we got to set it up. So we're going to go setup, settings. Where do you want your unpacked game files? So we're going to go to NMS modding. We're going to make a new folder there. Oops, no, not there. In the NMS modding folder. We'll make a new folder there. And we'll call it game files. And we'll select that. And that'll be where our game files live. You can do any path you want. NMS compiler path, we're gonna set that to go to desktop, modding, compiler exe right there, and open that. Your projects. So this is your mods. Like when you create a mod, where do you want them to live? So you set that path and modding, and then we're just going to create a new folder and call it my mods or whatever you want, and click that. Okay, now all your mods will go into that my mods folder you just created. PC Banks, this is where your PC Banks folder lives. I just showed you where that is, but you have to tell the modding station where it lives. So we're going to go into my computers, on C drive, program files x86, Steam, Steam apps, common, No Man's Sky, game data, PC Banks. And then the XML editor, I always use Notepad++. It's the best for me. So you got to tell it where that lives. After you've installed it, it'll be in your program files, and then you'll see Notepad++. Select the exe and click open. Alright, and you can make them read-only. When you unpack the files, you can make them read-only. If you don't trust yourself not to change the unpacked files. You'll still be able to change them once you copy them to your project path. You'll still be able to make changes, decompile, recompile, and all that. And I'll get into that in a second. And you want to pack XML files, and we're going to click OK. And once you do that, it'll import all of your game files, and once it's done importing your game files, you'll see this, something similar to this. I deleted some because like they were shaders and stuff like that that I don't want to mess with right now. But yeah, so you can go into here, you can click on whatever you want to change, like to make a mod for, like let's say you wanted to make a mod for uh, like slots, or not slots, we'll go with something like robot globals, for example. You copy that to your project path, and we go to, let me just delete all this. So we need to go and first you need to set your project. So we're going to create a new project, and we're going to call it 1, and we'll select that, and now that's our project. Now we go here, go to robot globals, copy that to our project path, double click that to decompile it. Why isn't it decompiling? Hold on. Settings, and bin compiler path. Set. Uh, we want desktop modding compiler. Alright, click OK. Alright, now we go click on the 1 again, and now we should be able to decompile it. There we go. I didn't have the path set exactly right. So now we got our decompiled mbin file into an EXML that we can edit with our Notepad++. We open that, and these are all for Robot Global. So these will be the drones, the walkers, the sentinels, the you know, all those things, right? So you can change, like, you know, their attitude and everything, how they attack, if they attack, you know, how long it takes them to react, everything, you know. So, you know, it's pretty simple, right? It's the names are pretty self-explanatory, and then the values, those are the things that you're probably going to change. Now, it's not just, you know, modding isn't always just simply like changing a value from false to true, or changing a number from a low number to a high number, or a high number to a low number, or whatever. It's, you know, a lot of stuff is like rewritten into the game, and like sometimes we copy and paste things from one uh, mbin file to another mbin file. We do a lot of different tricks, but I mean, when you're just getting started and you're a beginner at modding, you can just, like, you know, be like, oh well, you know, spawn time, you know, how long does it take you to spawn, you know, like if you want to have a little extra time for them to spawn in before they catch you or whatever, you can make it like 20 seconds instead of 2, or you could make it like, you know, 60 seconds if you wanted a full minute before like they spawn in or whatever. um yeah, so like, you know, you can change their health values, and this is just the robot globals, right? And once you make a change, like let's say you want to change a walker's health to just have 1 hit point, for example, right? You click save, and if that's all you wanted to change, then you go over here, and then you just recompile that. It says compiled down here, and then you just pack a mod, and you just put like Walker 1 HP or whatever, right? Boom. Now you have a mod that has walkers that only have 1 hit point, and then you can copy that to your mods folder. And I will show you my mods folder. Just just open mods folder, and if you look here in my mods folder, we have at the bottom walker1hp.pack. That's a mod. But you need to create the mods folder like I showed you earlier. If you missed that, make sure you rewind and go back and see that step. But that's how mods are created. So now I'm going to show you some tricks with the save editor that you can do. Alright, so these are tricks that anybody can do. So I'm going to go down the list. So if you have more than one save file, right, other than like using these tabs, which are some tricks that anyone can do, and that's what I suggest sticking to if you're not totally comfortable with changing your JSON file, because here's what happens when you change that, right? That's actually changing, like a permanent change to your player's save file. Okay, so like let's say if you like delete like the reality index or something, or you do something like to cause the game to not be able to load properly, then you would have to remember what you did and go in and change it back the way it was, in order to get it working again. Whereas with a mod, if a mod makes your game misbehave, you can just go into your mods folder and delete the culprit. You know, you could just get rid of the mod, and your game files will just be back to normal, back to the way it was before the mod was installed. But when you're editing the JSON, it's a little bit more complicated because you actually have to remember the changes you've made if you plan on reverting back to them. So it's a little bit more dangerous, but it's, you know, if you know what you're doing, and like if you can, if you know, make sure you don't delete quotation marks or the, you know, the symbols and everything, and you just stick with just changing stuff that you're familiar with or comfortable with, you should be fine. And even if you do change something, let's say I accidentally changed, like I got rid of everything from my inventory because I selected inventory and then I selected everything and deleted it, right? Let's say I did that, right? And let's say I closed it out and yeah, saved it, right? Now everything that was in my regular inventory would be gone. And if I reload into the game, all my inventory's gone. And as a matter of fact, I might not even have an inventory tab anymore because I deleted everything. Yeah, see, I no longer even have an inventory tab. I have inventory tech and cargo, but my regular inventory is just gone. It's not even there anymore, right? And I saved the changes. Now what do I do, right? Like, oh my god, I just fucked up. I'm not going to have an inventory tab, you know what I mean? And you stress out. But don't worry, because Save Editor's got your back, right? Because you can literally just reload before you click Save Changes here, right? You can reload and you'll get it back. Now, if you did click Save Changes, see, and I'll show you that it's back now. Import, edit the JSON and player data, and now we have our inventory back with all our inventory. But let's say you did click Save Changes and you closed out of it and everything. You can just reopen it, click your save file, and instead of doing the save HG, just go to the top backup file. That'll be the last thing that you changed. And if you want to go further back, you can go further back. And so Save Editor is really good about creating backups of the changes you've made. So even if you can't remember the changes you've made, you can still revert back to a backup file. Alright, so we're going to go back into the JSON, and I'm going to show you some more stuff we can do with that. So expand the player state data, right? Just turn that plus into a minus, and you'll see all of these other handy things we can change. So let's say you want to change your position in space, right? Let's say you're in Euclid, which would be reality index 0. Right now my character is in Hilbert, so that's the second galaxy. The reality index starts with 0. It doesn't start with 1. So like if you wanted to go to the second galaxy, you would have to put a 1 here. If you wanted to go to, like, say, the 50th galaxy, you would put, you would change that 1 to a 49, right? If you wanted to go to galaxy 200, you would change it to 199, right? If you wanted to go to 201, then you would change it to 200 if you wanted to go to 201, because it starts with 0. I don't recommend doing that unless your last save point was on board your freighter. If you got out of your ship on your freighter, right? Let's say that's where your last save point was. You landed on your freighter, you got out of your ship, and that's your last save point, and that's the save point that you're editing here. Then you would go here to the save HG, and you would look at the entire save file. This is the easiest way to do it, right? Right at the top, that's where your player is, right? So you can change the reality from where it is now. You can change it to, let's say you wanted to be in the 10th galaxy, Isentam, right? It's a lush galaxy. A lot of people like to visit there. So you would change that to a 9, right? Because it starts with 0, so that would be the 10th galaxy. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 10. All right. Let's say you wanted to be closer to the core, right? You can just change, basically, you could change all of these to like a 5 if you wanted to, right? Just make them all 5s, and you'd be very, very close to the core. And the solar index, if you're just going blind and you don't really know where you want to go, you can just leave that alone. Planet index, you can just leave that 0. And then what you want to do is you want to copy this information right here from reality index to planet index, right? And you just want to hit Control C to copy, and then you're going to hit Control F to find FREIGHTERU, all one word, freighter U, all one word. We're not going to make it case sensitive, and we're going to click find, and now that is our freighter universe address, right? So we're going to highlight the same thing we did for our player reality, right? And we're going to hit Control V, right? And now our player and our freighter's reality and XYZ and everything, they match. So when you reload, you will reload on your freighter, but you'll be in the 9th galaxy and you'll be really close to the center. So that's an awesome trick you can do. You can also, I'm not going to save the changes because my character was not on his freighter. You can also go to your, let's see, we'll go down the list. Inventories. Okay, so let's say you don't have all your slots unlocked on your inventory, right? So you just click on the inventory tab and scroll all the way down to the bottom, right? Right down here you see 8x6, right? That's the biggest that the game can render. Now you can make bigger slots and the save editor can render it, but when you go into the game, you won't actually be able to see those slots. Although if you did put something into those slots that you can't see, if you made it like, let's say 10 by 6, for example, you would have 2 extra rows going across, but you won't see them in the game. But any items you put in there will be accessible to your character. So that's a little bit complicated. If you want to just keep it simple, you can just make them all 8 by 6. So you go width 8, height 6. So if it's not already 8 by 6, boom. Same thing with your technology inventory. right? You can click on that, scroll all the way down at the bottom. If it's not, and you know, technology is limited to 14 slots, so you got like a 7 by 2 normally, so 7 width and 2 high. So that's 14 slots, but you can change that to an 8 by 6 as well. You can change all these inventories. The cargo, you can change that to 8 by 6. Your ship's inventories, you can change that to 8 by 6. But that not through that tab though. You'd have to go through your actual ships individually. Um, Weapon inventory, you can change details there. Multi-tools, same deal. Like you get 3 multi-tools. Like let's say you like your number 0 multi-tool better than all the other ones, and these two are just kind of junky and you didn't like them. You could literally go to your number 0 multi-tool, and you can select all, copy, and then you can go into your tool that you want to replace with that one, select all, and paste. And now that tool will be the same as that one if you save it. I'm not going to save it. I like my tools. But that's how you can change your multi-tools around. Pets, same deal, right? Pets, so you got all these values for pets, egg times, birth times, all that stuff. You can adjust those figures. Um, you know, descriptors, you can change descriptors if you get into like descriptor codes and stuff like that. You can change those up and make them look kind of funky. Eggs, you can specify different like stuff to do with the eggs, like the times and the features and the characteristics and whatnot. The accessories, you can, you know, edit those, all this stuff, right? So let's see, we're going to go down to mission progress, right? So let's say you're on, this is the save file where you have all your missions completed. You can Control A, select all, right? Control C to copy, and then you can back out of that and you can go into one of your other saves where you don't have all your mission progress done, like permadeath, for example. If you don't have your missions done, you can go into edit the raw JSON on permadeath because you just copied all your mission progress from your normal save, and you select mission progress and then Control A and then press Control and V, and then boom, all your mission progress from your normal save is now on your permadeath save, and you won't have to do the missions over again for permadeath. But if you want to be able to do the missions, then I don't recommend doing that. Not going to change mission C. Okay, so you can change your health numbers, your shield numbers, all that stuff. Units, nanites, quicksilver. Okay, so the units, nanites, and quicksilver, I've noticed that like when you try to change the values here, they don't really keep. Like if I go to units and I change that to like 99, and then I try to go off and save, see it says error, right? Even though that is well within the parameters, right? You can have like over 4 billion. Even though that's within the parameters, there's for some reason this save editor will not let you change it that way. Um, so if you wanted to change your currency values, you would literally have to go into your exosuit tab and just make them whatever you want. Right, and then you go to main, save your changes, and then when you edit the raw JSON, you'll see that your nanites and everything have changed to the number you just put. But it won't let you change it from the JSON, which is weird because there's so many other things that you can change from the JSON. I just find it weird that it's not allowing you to change it, not even to a much lower number like 99 like I put. But yeah, so that's just something to keep in mind if you're like, well, why can't I change it? Well, you'd have to do it from the tab. That's all. So let's see what else we got. You can, if you have special visited systems, you can change that up. You can copy visited systems. Like, see, my permadeath only has 2 systems that I visited in it because I just created that save like the other day and I barely used it. I just used it for demo purposes, really. Same deal like with the ammo, the ammunition. Like, you can't really change those numbers with the save editor. Like, you can try, like you can make it like from 0 to 9, for example, on your scatter ammo, and you select off of it. See, it says no, you can't. You cannot change it from 0 to 9. It's just weird. Like, there are some things that this JSON editor will let you change, and there are other things that it won't let you change. Um, so let's see. But I mean, you'd be able to change all of that creating mods, because, yeah. All right. Anyway, you can override the position of the anomaly if you want to. X, Y, Z, and all that. X, Y, Z solar index. That's what those numbers stand for. Your X, your Y, your Z, and your solar index. Okay. You can reveal black holes, right? So that is normally false, all lowercase. You can change that to true, and that value will change. Like I'll put it back to false, and then we'll go up and back down. You'll see it's false now. That's the default. If you can make it true, and then you will have all the black holes revealed to you, like the locations of them when you open your star map. So here's the same deal with freighter inventory, right? Freighter inventory, freighter layout, all that stuff, and like all of the parts that you put on your freighter. You can copy those over from one save to another. Like, if you wanted to, let's say you worked really hard on your freighter, right? On your normal save. Let's say you're on your normal save, right? And you worked really hard on your freighter. So and you want to be able to copy it over to like your survival save, because your survival freighter doesn't have all the building you did and you don't want to have to rebuild it all. So the same deal we did with mission progress. We're just going to go to the place where you have all of your stuff built. In this case would be like normal, right? So you go into edit the JSON and you go to where your freighter building stuff is, which is this right here. This is just related to freighters. Okay, this is your freighter objects. This is not your actual base objects on planets or anything like that. This is just for your freighter. So you would select all by hitting Control A, and then hit Control C to copy that, because we're not making changes to it. We just want to copy the information. And then we go over to, like, let's say our survival save, where we just got a new freighter but it doesn't have all the modifications. And then you go into edit the raw JSON, and then you go to your player data, scroll down to where your base building objects is, and you would hit Control A and Control V to paste. So you'd have the exact same building objects. So all of your lights that you put on, your hallways, your stairs, your rooms, anything you built like refiners or teleporters or appearance modifiers, whatever you put on your freighter would all be there upon reloading. And then you just save your changes and be good to go. You can also change like your ship ownership. Okay, so same deal, right? You can copy ships the same way. So like, if you don't want to copy all your ships, right? Like, if you highlight this, you can select all and copy, right? Control C, and copy all of your ships details, and bring it, and then open up another file and copy that over into the same tab called ship ownership, and you'll have all of your ships. But let's say you don't want all of your ships, you just want one ship, right? Like, I like this ship, this is my favorite ship or something, right? And then you just you hit Control A, Control C on that, and then you just go into your other file, like for example, like your normal save, go back to normal, and edit the JSON there. And it doesn't have to be the same number, by the way. You can just go back to where your ships are. Alright, I lost my place. Ship ownership, right? And so we copied from our number 2 ship on the other save file. But let's say the ship we like the least is our number 4 ship over here. Well, then you would hit Control A and Control V on that, V as in Victor, to paste what we just copied from our 2 ship over there. So now our 2 ship on our other save is the same as our number 4 ship on this save, for example. But yeah, there's so many things you can do with JSON. I mean, I could be here for a week explaining it all. I'm just trying to get to the, you know, some of the better tricks and stuff that I've done, and I know work and they don't break your game. So banner title ID, you can change that. So if you don't have access to the Nexus yet, you can give yourself access to the Nexus, right? By changing that false to true. So if you just created a brand new save, right? You can open up Save Editor, and you can give yourself access to the anomaly like right away by changing that false to a true. So that's pretty cool. You can change your shop tier if you want. You can be whatever tier you want. The shop number, all that stuff. But yeah, there's so much you can do with Save Editor. I could literally get lost in this all day, just changing stuff around. But yeah, so now you saw we have a working modding station. It works. I'm not going to click unpack game files, but if I did, it would unpack the game files, because when we went into setting, we told it where our PC banks was. We didn't lie and tell it a fake folder. But I don't want to unpack it because this computer has very limited space, and I'm not trying to eat it all up with game files when I have all the game files unlocked on this one. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's how to create mods, that's how to use Save Editor, that's how to download them and install them and use them. If you guys have any questions for me or anything, you can feel free to leave a comment, or hit me up at my email at nms.bodi420@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on Nexus Mods. You can contact me that way. I'm on Discord, BODIE420 on Discord. I don't know what my hashtag numbers are off the top of my head. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you all being here. Yeah, that's it. I don't have anything else for you guys. So, with that being said, may you all find happiness at the end of every road. May you be blessed in all you do. I wish nothing but the best for you, your families, and your loved ones. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, guys. Trying to get my count up a little bit. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. And I'm out.